The mystery attacker returns on Raw and strikes Bron Breakker and the Vision. The mystery attacker who has been terrorizing WWE superstars for weeks with brutal ambushes and calculated assaults just returned on Monday Night Raw and delivered the most shocking double attack in the entire saga by striking both Bron Breakker, the Intercontinental Champion and one of WWE's most dominant young stars, and then immediately targeting members of the Vision faction in a coordinated assault that left multiple wrestlers injured and the entire Raw locker room in absolute panic, wondering who this attacker is, what their endgame might be, and who will be targeted next in a campaign of violence that seems designed to cripple WWE's entire main event scene. This was not random chaos or opportunistic strikes, this was a meticulously planned operation where the mystery attacker knew exactly where both Bron and the Vision would be, waited for the perfect moments to strike when they were most vulnerable, and executed attacks with professional precision that suggests this is someone with intimate knowledge of WWE's backstage layout and personnel schedules. If you think you have figured out who the mystery attacker is based on previous clues and speculation, what happened on Raw throws every theory into complete chaos because the sheer physical capability required to take down someone like Bron Breakker eliminates half the suspected candidates, and the willingness to attack an entire faction suggests motivations that go far beyond personal grudges. If you are frustrated that WWE has dragged this mystery out for so long without revealing the attacker's identity, your patience is being tested to the absolute limit, but the payoff when the mask finally comes off might be worth the wait. And if you want every detail of these latest attacks, analysis of who could possibly be behind them, and theories about what happens when the truth is finally revealed, stay with me because we are breaking down the most compelling mystery angle WWE has run in years. The mystery attacker storyline began approximately 6 weeks ago when various WWE superstars started being found unconscious backstage with no witnesses and no clear explanation for what had happened to them. The victims seemed random at first, a mixture of mid-card wrestlers and occasional main eventers, attacked in different locations around the arena from locker rooms to parking areas to production facilities. Security footage was always mysteriously unavailable or corrupted for the specific times and locations of the attacks, suggesting either incredible luck or inside help. The attacks themselves were brutal, leaving victims with legitimate injuries including concussions, and creating genuine concern among the roster about their safety. As weeks passed, patterns started emerging that suggested the attacks were not random but carefully targeted. The victims shared certain characteristics: they were all younger wrestlers being positioned for main event pushes, they were all physically impressive specimens who relied on power and athleticism, and they were all closely associated with WWE management's plans for the future of the company. This led to speculation that the mystery attacker was someone from an older generation resentful about being pushed aside, or perhaps someone who had been overlooked for opportunities being given to these rising stars. The attack on Bron Breakker represents a massive escalation because Bron is not just another rising star, he is the Intercontinental Champion and arguably the most protected young wrestler on the entire Raw roster. Bron is a second-generation superstar with incredible physical tools, legitimate amateur wrestling credentials, and a monster push that has seen him demolish everyone put in front of him. The idea that someone could successfully ambush and injure Bron Breakker requires us to believe the attacker is either extraordinarily skilled, incredibly lucky, or had significant advantages like weapons or numerical superiority. The attack on Bron happened in what should have been one of the most secure areas of the arena, the champion's locker room. Bron had just finished a successful title defense earlier in the night and was back in his private locker room, which is supposed to be monitored by security and accessible only to authorized personnel. According to the official WWE report, Bron was found unconscious on the floor of his locker room approximately 30 minutes after his match, struck from behind with what appears to have been a blunt object that left him with a concussion and a gash on the back of his head requiring stitches. The fact that someone penetrated this supposedly secure area and successfully attacked one of WWE's most physically imposing wrestlers without being caught raises massive questions about either security failures or inside assistance. The attack on the Vision happened later in the same broadcast and was even more audacious in its execution. The Vision, for those unfamiliar, is a heel faction consisting of multiple members who have been running roughshod over Raw's tag team and mid-card divisions through numbers advantage and coordinated tactics. They are positioned as a dominant force that nobody can overcome because whenever someone gets close to beating one member, the others interfere and turn the tide. Their strength is their unity and their willingness to gang up on opponents, which makes them extremely difficult to defeat in traditional wrestling contexts. The Vision had a backstage segment scheduled where they were cutting a promo about their dominance and issuing challenges to anyone who thought they could stop them. The segment was taking place in a hallway area with cameras positioned to capture the promo for broadcast. Midway through their promo, the lights in that section of the arena suddenly cut out, plunging everything into darkness. When the lights came back on approximately 20 seconds later, 3 of the Vision's 5 members were lying on the ground injured, 1 unconscious and 2 others holding various body parts in pain and struggling to stand. The other 2 members were looking around frantically trying to understand what had just happened, and security footage from backup cameras shows a figure in all-black tactical gear and a mask moving with incredible speed, striking the Vision members with precision strikes and what appeared to be a taser or similar incapacitating device before disappearing back into the darkness. The sophistication of this attack is what makes it so disturbing and eliminates many potential suspects. Whoever executed this had to have access to building electrical systems to coordinate the lights going out at the precise moment, had to possess the combat skills to neutralize multiple trained wrestlers in less than 20 seconds, had to have equipment like tasers that are not typically available in wrestling contexts, and had to have escape routes planned that allowed them to vanish before security could respond. This level of planning and execution suggests either a highly trained individual or a group working together, and it suggests resources and knowledge that go far beyond what a typical disgruntled wrestler would have access to. The immediate aftermath on Raw was absolute chaos. Medical personnel were scrambling to attend to Bron Breakker in his locker room while simultaneously responding to the Vision's injuries in the hallway. Security was flooding the building trying to lock down exits and search for the attacker. Wrestlers were gathering in groups for safety, nobody wanting to be alone and vulnerable to becoming the next victim. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce appeared on camera looking genuinely shaken, announcing that the show would continue but that all remaining matches would have enhanced security presence and that he was implementing new protocols to try to prevent further attacks. The fan reaction online has been absolutely explosive, with millions of people theorizing about the attacker's identity and motivations. The most popular theories include a returning legend seeking revenge against WWE management for past grievances, a disgruntled former WWE wrestler who was fired or left under bad terms and is now exacting revenge, a current WWE wrestler working under a disguise to eliminate competition, or even someone from outside WWE entirely, like a rival promotion sending an agent to destabilize the company. Each theory has evidence supporting it and contradictions that make it unlikely, which is part of what makes this mystery so compelling and frustrating in equal measure. The physical description of the attacker from the few glimpses caught on camera is limited but suggests someone of above-average height and athletic build, moving with a combination of speed and power that indicates professional combat training. The tactical gear and mask completely obscure identifying features, and the attacker has never spoken during any attack, which prevents voice identification. Some fans have analyzed the attacker's movement patterns and striking techniques, comparing them to various wrestler styles, but these analyses are speculative and often contradictory. WWE's handling of this angle has been brilliant from a storytelling perspective but is creating genuine safety concerns among the roster. The attacks look realistic enough and cause real injuries frequently enough that wrestlers are legitimately worried about their physical safety. Several wrestlers have reportedly approached management demanding better security or refusing to participate in certain segments where they would be alone and vulnerable. This real-world concern bleeding into the storyline creates an uncomfortable dynamic where it is difficult to tell what is work and what is shoot, which generates engagement but also raises ethical questions about worker safety. The targeting of both Bron Breakker and the Vision in the same night suggests the mystery attacker's motivations might be broader than previously thought. If the goal was simply eliminating individual competitors, attacking one person per show would minimize risk. But attacking the Intercontinental Champion and a dominant faction on the same night suggests either desperation to accelerate whatever plan is in motion, or confidence that WWE cannot stop them regardless of how bold they become. This escalation almost certainly means a reveal is coming soon, because maintaining this level of intensity without payoff will eventually exhaust audience patience. Thank you for watching Wrestling News CC. Drop your theories about who the mystery attacker is and what their endgame might be. Tell us if you think WWE has dragged this angle out too long or if the slow build is perfect. And let us know if you believe Bron Breakker and the Vision will team up to hunt down their common enemy or if they will remain enemies despite both being victims of the mystery attacker.